Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is now just 82 days away from its official release by J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, Disney, and Lucasfilm that is all set and ready to end the sequel trilogy and the Skywalker saga itself. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film, at the end of the day, is going to be a revelation film answering many of the burning questions from The Force Awakens, as well as creating brand new questions at the very beginning of this movie that will be answered at the very end of Episode 9. So we do know that J.J. Abrams is trying to be very innovative with this film, while at the same exact time providing many different pieces of nostalgia into this film that's really going to bring us back to the past 8 Star Wars movies in a different light. And what's great about that is that we do know that this movie is, of course, going to be a very big movie, as, of course, many of the cast members describe that this movie's very, very long, and that it's a big film with a lot of characters and a lot of callbacks to the prequels and the originals. Now, on top of all this, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the big plans by J.J. Abrams, Disney, and Lucasfilm, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that it's described that during the major reshoots that started in late August, throughout this month of September, it's explained that Disney, Lucasfilm, and J.J. Abrams are putting together something very special for the Star Wars fans that is said to serve as an end credits / after credits sequence for the film. It's described that a part of the reshoots involved the filming of this sequence that is actually said to serve as some form of an epilogue of a major character's life, and that it will acknowledge the Skywalker legacy in an extremely satisfying way for fans around the world. Now, it said that J.J. Abrams wanted to do something very different for a Star Wars film that would allow those to get a brief view of something spectacular that would actually pay great respect to the Skywalker legacy and a specific character's life sometime after the official ending of the movie that would serve as the final piece of the story and an opportunity to use extra footage for an abandoned idea during the original script of the film that would add more closure and ambiguity at the same exact time for fans of the Star Wars franchise and where things are going for the future. This particular post-credit scene is also said to introduce something spectacular that has to do with Jedi and Force lore of the franchise. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to be a movie by JJ that is going to be quite innovative. He wants to do a lot of different things with this movie that's really going to come out as a big surprise to Star Wars fans that have to do with the Force and what the Force is capable of doing, whether or not that's actually going to be used for good or evil. That all depends on Abrams. So, with that being said, the fact that they are putting together a after-credits scene for the very end of the Skywalker saga that is said to serve as an epilogue could very well line directly up with the leaks that we have been talking about a couple of months ago about a scene involving the character of Rey next to a young boy looking out to a sunset on a grassy world. Now, like I say, we do know that Episode 9 is going to have a big ending in this movie that's going to have something to do with Rey's new lineage in The Rise of Skywalker that is said to match the I am your father moment that is actually said to be just as big as that moment in The Empire Strikes Back. But on top of all of this, besides the official ending, during the reshoots that are happening as we speak, they are putting together what's actually described to be an after credits, also known as a post-credits sequence, that's actually said to serve as an epilogue. So, if you guys have read a lot of books out there, there's always usually an epilogue in many of those books that actually serve as basically an end to the ending of the movie or book and whatever have you. And what's really intriguing about this is that this particular epilogue is said to have something to do with the Skywalker legacy, as well as the life of a certain major character. Now, could this very well have something to do with Rey and Ben Solo, or maybe perhaps somebody else entirely new that's going to open up the possibility of a future Star Wars film and or a Star Wars trilogy that's centered around after the events of Episode 9. That's a big possibility as well. We do know that there is going to be a tease in this movie of a particular star system, by the way, that holds an entire new generation of Jedi, an entire population of Force-sensitive individuals that have the potential to become new Jedi that Palpatine wants to wipe out using his new superweapons, called, of course, the Annihilators. So it could very well have something to do with that as well. So I'm not quite sure if an after credits scene is something that would really fit the Star Wars franchise. I know that this is the end of the Skywalker saga. This is it, no ifs, ands, or buts by Disney and Lucasfilm. They seem to be pretty confident that this really is the end of it all before they move on to their new Star Wars trilogy based on a brand new era of Star Wars that would actually center around a brand new mythology. So the fact that they are adding in an after credits scene and the fact that they're trying to put that together as we speak and how it's going to honor the Skywalker legacy, it could very well also serve as a piece of insurance if the new Star Wars trilogy fails. They could always revert to a true trilogy that's connected to, of course, the Skywalker saga if they really ever wanted to do that in the future. So anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.